Hello and welcome to Close and Distant. This is another one of the Maeve Wolf visual novels. So, this one, as with the previous visual novel that you probably saw, is short and it deals with long distance relationships, I believe, about meeting people online and then eventually maybe meeting them, I think. So for some furries, that might be a bit, relatable, because that usually is how it happens with relationships and friendships and stuff like that, where you make friends online and then eventually either through like a con or a local meetup or maybe even a distant meetup or something like that, you end up meeting. So yeah, it might be relatable at least a little. For some other people it might not, but like, you know, yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much the gist of what I believe this visual novel is about. Whether or not they actually meet is, I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, so without further ado, let us begin Close and Distant. The name of the message is a name that I haven't heard in a long, long time. A storm of different feelings well up inside of me. I miss her, I resent her, and most of all, I worry that she still resents me too. In fact, she still has more of a license to resent me after all these years than I ever had any right to. My resentfulness towards her, I realize, is mostly a misdirected hatefulness towards myself and how I was back then. A broiling envy that brewed inside of me for so long, that mucked up the insides of my youthful self. I've wondered if we would ever speak again, if such a thing was a good idea. Should I be the first one to reach out? Or should it be her? If I reached out, would it hurt her? Is it selfish to reach out again? A desire to atone for my past actions? My thumb hovers over the message. I still haven't opened it yet, and as far as she knows, it hasn't reached my eyes yet. Untouched, unread, unnoticed. The email is nestled among many other meaningless messages, as if not knowing how important its contents are, that it could hide so easily amongst automated promotions and reminders. The header of the email reads, "From an old friend." The lines below it gives the briefest preview of the message's contents. "Hey Oliver, it's me. I know it's been a while, but..." The preview peters off at the right moment, the perfect place for a dramatic pause. My brain fills in the blanks with infinite possibilities. The wonderful, the terrible, and the rarely mundane. I know it's been a while, but I miss you so badly and think of you every day. I still hate your guts and wanted you to know that I hope you're doing terribly. I was wondering if you're still single, if you still meant it when you said that we were meant for each other. I just wanted to remind you that I never want to see your face again. I wanted to let you know that those years still haunt my memory too, and I wish things were different." I inhale deeply and lock my phone, tossing it on the bed beside me. I press my paws against my face. I can't do this yet. I don't know if I could ever do it again. I know the right answer. I need to open it to kill the curiosity and have a concrete answer. I pick my phone back up, swiping the email app closed, shoving the message out of my view, knowing that it will do nothing to keep the thoughts of it from my mind. I curl up as far as I can to the furthest corner of my bed, my back pressed against the wall, as if this will somehow make me invisible if my mom happens to pop in and check on when I should be sleeping. My laptop is open across my thighs. My comforter is the only thing keeping its uncomfortably warm chassis from pressing on my fur on my legs. I make sure the screen is at the lowest brightness, and I keep myself poised ready to quickly but quietly close the laptop and toss it under the covers if anyone comes in. I put an earbud in one ear and keep the other open, twitching and turning at every little sound in the house. I should be sleeping since I have school tomorrow, But this is my only time to myself. I look forward to this moment every day. IMVU loads in slowly, and I watch as my avatar bounces to life in the vacant space of the dress-up screen. I know that she is only a far-off approximation of what I look like, an hourglass figure, calico cat with cartoonishly wide eyes and big, adorable ears. My avatar poses with broad, vacant eyes as I style her in different outfits, nothing ever seemingly quite right. If only my parents could buy me just a fraction of credits to access the generous catalog of hundreds of more interesting fur styles and clothing. But that would require letting them in on my secret, and I can't even fathom that. I can only imagine that the gaudy IMVU advertisements filled with a buxom woman and thick layers of pitch-black mascara and gently parted lips would only result in being completely forbidden from the site. So IMVU remains my secret for only the late hours of the night or when I'm lucky enough to be home alone, its shortcut hidden in layers of innocuous folders. I pick a public chat room that seems just the right amount of busy, not too much traffic that it feels overwhelming, and not too few that I'm the only one there. I've also learned the difficult ways to avoid the chat rooms populated by only 2 people. A lush digital estate loads in, complete with a pool full of animation nodes and an off-brand recreation of the Versailles garden. Gaudy decor surrounds white, neoclassical architecture, a child's idea of a wealthy mansion. I experimentally drop my avatar into various places, clicking on the blue nodes, my avatar bouncing cartoonishly into each location, sometimes into various poses or animations placed for digital photo shoots. I find myself admiring my avatar, this buxom ideal of what I feel that I should be, and what I hope crossing the finish line of puberty will do. But it's not perky. Even breasts I find myself envying, or her perfectly round butt from where her tail swishes playfully. It is the narrowness of her waist, the slimness of her arms and agile legs. As a whole though, I envy just how likable this avatar appears, much more likable than I find myself to be. I don't consider myself an unhappy person, but it is difficult to fight the thought that if I just squeezed myself into this perfect mold, I might feel something more. A stranger bounces to life next to my avatar, settling into the empty node just beside her. The heads of both of the avatars slowly turn to each other, smile and make eyes without either of our choosing. Hey. The avatar, the masculine ideal of a tiger, is dressed in mostly the default attire, a basic starting outfit for IMVU. It embarrasses me when I see these users. Ones who put little to no effort in the presentation of their avatar. Aren't they afraid to be seen as new, as basic and unfashionable? Another part of me already knows why he appears this way, and why he's started a conversation with me. A thrill and anxiety floods my stomach, and I tilt the screen of my laptop down a little bit, an automatic and self-conscious act. Hello? What's up? Blue and orange speech bubbles float lazily above our heads, slowly rising as if submerged beneath water. I bite my lip, wondering at the man behind the screen. What's he like? Undecided on which path to take, I give as little away as possible. Not much. Lulz. You? Same. The lack of effort boys on IMVU always astounds me, though I suppose that I can't speak much for myself either. Only a few speech bubbles are above our heads, and it already feels as if we're dancing around what he's here for. I want him to say it first. His avatar rolls through his idle animation, absent-mindedly cracking his knuckles. ASL? 18F USA. You? I wonder how obvious a lie 18 is. It feels like such a magical, non-existent age. The one people use to lie about how old or young they are. No one is 18, not unless they have something to hide. I absent-mindedly contemplate pushing it up to 19 the next time that I am asked, as I watched a small bubble above his head indicate him drafting his response. Cool. 21, M, USA. Yes, the other non-existent age. I wonder if he's lying too. If he is, in fact, much older than that, if behind his keyboard a man in his 30s or 40s is waiting hungrily for my response. Our avatars both stand there a moment, both in IMVU's version of silence, no small bubbles above our head indicating either of us typing. I wonder what to say next, as I always do at this stage. More importantly, I wait to see what he has in mind, what kind of conversation this will become. Like clockwork, a small bubble appears over his head. He is typing. My heart picks up a pace. It's a rhythm going from unnoticed to unignorable. The seconds waiting, dragging on. You cyber? My heart thrums harder in my chest and I feel a warmth spread across my face. My paws tremble as I begin my reply and a deep shame washes over me. A part of me wants to enthusiastically reply yes, to express these forbidden things. But there is that fear again, that fear that if I continue this habit, that it indicates something unseemly about me. That one day, all of my IMVU responses will be printed into pamphlets for all the people that I know to see, that this secret will see the light of day, and I will never be seen the same again. I play stupid. It will buy me time to make a decision. What's cyber? His response comes almost immediately. Cyber sex. Oh, I've never done that before, Rolf. It doesn't take long for him to reply, his typing picking up in a feverish pace. I wonder with the sickening feeling if my feigned innocence excites him. It's fun. You seem chill. I think you might like it. Lol. Also, you're hot. The afterthought of a compliment always seems so strange and insincere, to appraise someone for their avatar. I doubt that he would say the same thing about my physical appearance, but I've leaned into the compliment before, reciprocated into other faceless avatars. But the growing sick, guilty feeling pulls me away this time. Not tonight. Oh well, I'm just looking for friends. And just chatting. The next bubble appears in a storm, one after another in rapid succession. We can be friends. And cybering is chatting. We can do both. You seem really chill. A notification appears in the corner of my vision, a friend request that I know is from him. You can come into my room if you're shy. Lol. If you're my friend, I can invite you there. The onslaught of messages overwhelms me, and I contemplate caving. I contemplate exiting out. I contemplate doing everything and nothing, and just sit there as a stream of speech bubbles appears over his head. Another stranger pops in on the other side of my avatar, a wolf with her hand on her hip, assuming a judgmental pose as if IMVU knew just what conversation she was butting into. She said that she wants to chat and make friends. Lay off, dude. I can only imagine the credits that she spent to make her avatar look so good, decorated in attire that I recognize from enviously browsing INVU's catalog. You're interrupting a private conversation. It's a public room, and you're being a creep. Fuck you. Lolliot, accept my invite and we can go to my room. The conversation comes to a sudden standstill, and even through the laptop I can feel both of them staring at me, waiting. I rewrite my response over and over before settling on it, and stare at it for a good long few seconds as it sits, waiting for me to send it. I bite my lip, grimacing, and hit enter. I think I'm good. But thank you. I hope that the thank you will cool him off. Bitch. And then the tiger disappears, leaving the room. I'm not sure if the response is directed at Amethyst or me, or both of us, but it makes me sick to my stomach. What a weirdo. Thank you. I didn't know what to do, lols. No problem. You look like you needed the help. Guys like that can never take a no. I bet he's like 45 too. Ew, probably. Are you 18 though? The anxiety returns for a moment, and then the wolf tacks on another response to alleviate it. Just because you don't seem like 18, and I'm not 18. Happy to help but I'd rather hang out with other people my age, you know? No hard feelings. Oh yeah, I'm 14, not 18. Oh cool, high school? I'm 13 by the way, so right behind you, lol. A relief floods in me, and I find myself smiling. I know that she could be lying too, but something about how she types feels familiar, genuine. Almost. Still middle school, sadly. But I can't wait for high school. Me too, lol. It's nice to find someone else my age-ish on here. Us girls gotta stick together. There was a pause and I wonder if she's left. If she was interrupted, her avatar wags her luminous wolf tail, her paw still resting on her hip. Oh, I'm a boy. The girls just have better clothes on here. As you can see. The wolf avatar assumes a glamorous pose for emphasis, and I find myself envying him, even more. Poses and animations are an additional luxury in the economy of IMVU, one that I would never even consider possessing. Oh, sorry, I thought you were a girl. It's okay, it makes sense, lol. If that bothers you, I can head out, no hard feelings. I know some people think that it's weird, and I've seen how guys are here. My paws hover over the keyboard. Oddly enough, I don't feel deceived or the slightest bit creeped out. There is something deep down in that tells me that I should find this creepy. A boy parading around IMVU with a feminine avatar. I know my mom definitely wouldn't approve. But the feeling doesn't hit me. Instead, I am curious, like I've encountered something mythical that I did not know existed in reality, something only heard of from stories. I am reminded of the anime characters, the men who look like women. No, it's cool. You're much nicer than all the guys that I've met on here. That's good to hear. Also, love your username. Death Note is so good. I grin wider, delighted that someone finally recognized it. It is. I love it. I'm a bit of a weeb. Me too. The small emoticon feels like a victory, like he's led down a detached guard that only I am privy to. You mind if I add you? I need more weebs in my life, lol. I move to hover over her avatar and send her a request. Nope, because I sent you a request first. Rolf. Within seconds, the request is accepted, and I know that I'll barely be able to keep my eyes open at school tomorrow. It goes on like this for the next few months, eagerly awaiting to return to IMVU, but this time with a newfound excitement. I quickly learn my wolf friend's name, Nathan. The name clicks into place with more difficulty than his screen name did, but I suppose that's a part of meeting a friend online, by username first. Like Dickinson? He asked when I told my name. I said yes, though I don't know Emily Dickinson beyond her name, and that she's some sort of old-timey writer. I love Dickinson. That's a good name sister to have. I guess I have to read her stuff now. Yes, if school doesn't make you already, lol. Since we're getting to know each other better, are you pretending to be a wolf too? I can confirm that I am actually a wolf, lol. It is a question that I feel ashamed for having asked, but could you blame me? Wolves were featured predominantly on fashion magazines, film, television, looking sleek and agile and enviable. If I were to guise myself as any other species aside from my own, I know that wolves would be in the top 5 choices. Since we're already in uncomfortable territory, I push further. So why choose to be a girl on here? Like I said, fun outfits. His persona does another glamorous pose, a teasing that always makes me smile. But no, seriously. You've seen how guys are on here. I don't know why you'd want to be a girl on purpose. If it bothers you, you could always make a boy avatar too. The suggestion makes me uncomfortable, like it would make me deceptive in some way. You don't think that it would be weird? Do you think I'm weird? I regret my words immediately. It's true, I don't find Nathan weird. For whatever reason, it feels natural to me, for him to be Nathan, but also this wolf girl avatar. I've even already joked with him that if I ever saw him in person, I'd be confused to meet anyone other than that. That if some hunky masculine wolf guy appeared and said, "Hi, I'm Nathan," I would be confused. he had laughed it off and let me know, first of all, that he is not a big, hunky guy. No, I don't. Sorry, I didn't mean for it to sound like that. You're good. But I can tell that he is upset, if not at me, about something my words brought up in him. School becomes background noise to my life online. My mom hardly notices, frequently too busy at work. I know that as long as my grades are steady and I'm not out late, she hardly questions the social aspect of my life. It doesn't take long for us to graduate from IMVU to Skype, the desire for something more convenient than IMVU's laggy chat rooms. We still revisit IMVU occasionally after all. Nathan has new rotations of avatar outfits to show off, and I happily oblige. These digital trips to IMVU's chat rooms slowly peter off when Nathan shares his Tumblr with me. Tumblr? It's kinda like MySpace, but not totally dead. I mostly just share fan art and GIFs and stuff. Oh, okay. If you make one, I'm Amethyst on there too. It only takes the slightest nudge from Nathan to make one, and I'm delighted to find that lol... I don't know how to pronounce that name, so I'm gonna pronounce it how I think it's pronounced. Laliette isn't taken, and I can finally shed the arrangement of X's around my username. As I go to Nathan's Tumblr, I'm greeted by a warm pastel blog. A gif of a K-On character sits comfortably on the sidebar just above his bio. Nat, 13. Welcome to my blog. You'll find anime, thoughts, and everything that I find pretty on here. Nats? Does he go by Nat now? I switch to the Skype window. Is it Nat now? Oh yeah, most people call me Nat. It's a good name. It suits you. Thank you. I've always wanted a nickname too, but how do you make Emily into a nickname? Lol. M? M. I like it. Thanks for your help, Nat. And sorry, Miss Dickinson. No problem, Em. And I'm sure that she'll forgive you. Lol. As I craft the theme for my Tumblr blog, with helpful guidance from Nat, I create a simple bio for myself for now. M14. Tumblr becomes a safe haven for me while at school, a place to nerd out with Nat. There's not much thought to reblogging images and scrawling out thoughts into text posts, but I enjoy it. On one occasion, I see a face, pixelated and low res, clearly taken with a webcam. The wolf is androgynous, looking beautiful and slightly sulky at a point just beyond the webcam. It takes me a moment to connect with it with the user who posted it. It's Nat. I like it immediately and rush to Skype. Nat, oh my god. Your face. What about my face? I've never seen you before. You have a nice face. It's such a bizarre comment, I realize, but I can't quite find the words to describe him. Does he want to be handsome, beautiful, something else entirely? Thank you, lol. I mean it. It's nice to put a face to a name. I open my own webcam. I have no intention to share it on my blog. I'm not comfortable with that quite yet. But I take a quick picture, posing it in a way that I hope is both flattering and also looks like I'm not posing at all. I send it to Nat on Skype. And now you know what I look like. Oh my god. Your face is also nice. Thank you. My heart comes without much thought, the first heart that I've ever sent him. I panic for a moment, wondering if it's too much, if the next thing that I know our conversation will be awkward and ruined forever. You're welcome. I sigh with relief. I found myself scrolling through the tag for Emily Dickinson, curious for an easy introduction to her works, one that Nat says he loves. Unsurprisingly, as many tags are on Tumblr, there are many posts that have only a tangential relation to the poet. But I come across a few of her poems, and there's one line in particular that I find myself lingering on. I am out with lanterns, looking for myself. Emily Dickinson. I reblog it and hope that Nat will see it. Actually, it's M now. M? Why? I didn't expect it to be challenged, and the confidence that I felt at first wilts. It's like, a nickname. You don't choose a nickname, other people do. The rest of my friends laugh, not meanly, but in agreement. I feel my face flush with warmth. Emily is such a pretty name, and M is like... ahem. She does a dramatic clearing of her throat. Rebecca laughs and does her own ahem. They both laugh and I smile in an effort to not look hurt. No, you're right. And so with my friends and family, I am Emily. But with Nat, I am still M. It probably won't surprise you that I've always wanted to crossplay as Misa. Nat isn't the first person that I learned about crossplay from, but he's the first person that I discussed it with so openly. We chat only on Skype now, no longer needing the support of digital avatars and polygonal landscapes. I feel like a graduation in our friendship, like we're outgrowing something old together. Oh yeah, I can see it. Her outfits totally suit you. Aw, thanks. You would make the perfect Misa. You're too nice. I mean it, you're a very pretty boy. Perfect for crossplay. Aw, thanks. I've always wanted to crossplay L, if I'm honest. Oh my god. Of course you would. You would be perfect too. You could be the perfect crossplay duo. We would. If we could swap genders for a day, that'd be perfect. Or a week. Though we'd be pretty much doing that if we crossplayed, lol. A weekend would be perfect at least, so we could go to an anime expo. Oh, I plan to go this year. What, really? I live pretty close to the convention center. I've always wanted to go. Oh my god, if you get tickets, we could go together. As long as that's something that you're comfortable with, of course. Yes, I'd love to. We could share a room too, make it a slumber party. Nat pauses before replying, and I watch as a typing animation appears and reappears. It wouldn't bother you? I trust you more than anyone in the world, and you're my best friend. You're like one of the girls to me, if that's not too rude to say. There was another pause in his typing, and I worry it was something rude to say. Not at all. It is a very sweet thing to say. I'm glad to be considered one of the girls, lol. The best of the girls I know. Aww. Though I don't know how my parents would feel about us sharing a room. The solution comes to me without a pause. Are you sure you want to do this? You have such lovely red patterns in your fur, just like your mother. She runs her paws delicately over the fur on top of my head, fluffing out the fur on the sides of my cheeks before resting her paws on my shoulders. The fur dye sits on our bathroom counter, ready to use. I meet my eyes in the mirror, hoping that I look level and determined, but I am afraid my nervousness shows through. I like the way Katy Perry's fur looks. The black and white thing is really popular in school right now. It's a lie, and I'm incredibly grateful to Katy Perry and her black and white spots for the credible excuse it gives me. I know, but you don't think going for calico to black and white will look a bit masculine? You're just such a pretty girl. Not every girl is lucky enough to get calico fur. You know, only 2% of cats are calico. I know, it'll grow back. I'll probably shed it off during the summer anyways. My mother smiles weakly in the mirror and rests her chin on the top of my head. She looks into the eyes of my reflection, and I look into the eyes of mine. We look so similar, she and I. I know that I should be grateful. She is very beautiful after all, but I can't stomach the similarity for whatever reason. The moment looking at the mirror feels like forever. Just admiring one last look at you before I diet. It is a petulant childlike whine, a kitten's mew, but I can't help it. All right, I'm going. She applies the dark dye to my fur with careful precision, blackening rust-colored patterns in blackness. A new face begins to appear in the mirror to me. I return to the message. I hold my breath, then finally open it. Hey Oliver, it's me. I know that it's been a while, but I saw you still live in the LA area, or at least close to it. I'm here for some work, and I thought that it might be nice to meet and catch up after all this time. I'm in town until the end of the month, so just let me know what works for you. I know that it's been a while and I understand if you don't want to. Ignore this if so, but let me know if you'd want to meet up sometime. Your old friend, Natalia. My paws shake as I draft up a response. I overthink every line, worried that it's too much or too little sentimentality. But I accept the invitation. The hotel lobby is bustling with all sorts of people in brightly colored outfits. Some characters I recognize, others I don't at all. It's obvious who is here for the convention and who are the hapless guests, completely unaware of the poor timing of their stay here. I already feel sweaty and self-conscious under 2 sport bras, but I am grateful that it's enough to even out my chest. A part of me worries that he won't recognize me or I won't recognize him. I know that it's him the moment that I see him. It's strange to see him so clearly and vividly, outside of the pixelation of the webcam. When we lock eyes, it seems like we're both thinking the same thing. This person is actually here. I meet them. I can embrace them. Slowly our footsteps pick up speed towards each other until we barrel into each other's arms, embracing. We hug. It doesn't feel nearly long enough before Nat pulls away, smiling. You made it. We stare at each other, smiling for once, at a loss for words. Chris, right? The voice is warm and booming, and I turn to meet Nat's dad for the first time too. There is a puzzled look on his face, and I can tell that he's trying to piece me together, to recall when and where he's seen me deep in his memories. I hold my breath, hoping my disguise holds. You remember Chris, right, Dad? Politeness forces him to nod, though I can tell that he can't recognize me. But he forces himself to catch a memory of me, to Frankenstein various pieces and memories of Nat's old summer camp and school friends until he's assembled recollection of some old friend, Chris. Yeah, I remember. It's been a while, huh? Yeah, it has. I lower my voice, hoping that it does not sound too forced. He reaches out for my paw, shaking it firmly. I try to give a firm, masculine shake back. Well, we're all checked in, ready to head up? Nat and I follow his dad to the elevators. I worry that my femininity is glaring and that he can see through my guise. His dad, however, doesn't give any sort of sign of suspicion that I'm anyone other than Chris. The rooms we're staying at are 2 separate ones, with the door dividing the 2. His dad hovers for a bit, making sure that we're all settled, going over rules and expectations. He does not seem too concerned for us though, relieved at my timidness. I am not the sort of friend to introduce drugs and drinking into our weekend's itinerary. I'll be here though. I might go out a bit, and remember. Don't go outside the convention or the hotel, got it? And with that, the door dividing our rooms closes, and Nat turns to me. Nat visibly relaxes, his posture loosening into something more expected, more familiar to the person that I've grown to know online. I've been dying to say this, but your fur looks amazing. Does it? My paw runs through the fur on my head, self-consciously. Does it look natural? Yeah, totally. Wouldn't have thought that you were a calico for even a minute. And also perfect for Elle. I smile. Elle is a canine, but the striking black and white fur pattern is iconic to him. Speaking of Elle, is your dad cool with... I make vague gestures around my waist and hips, as if patting down a poofy skirt. Me dressing in a skimpy goth girl outfit? God no, he'd kill me. I deflate a little. Oh, so we won't be... I never said that. I wait outside the men's bathroom at the convention center, nervous. I'm already mostly dressed as Elle, which is really just a pair of loose, light-washed jeans and a long-sleeve t-shirt. I'm waiting for Nat to come out from the bathroom and give the final touches. Big rings of dark, smudged eyeliner around my eyes. His trademark, sleep-deprived, borderline scene, kid look. It's not too long before he emerges from the bathroom, and I can't help but stare. The leather dress hugs his slender body, lace stockings emphasizing the length of his legs. He looks perfect. I know, but I'll look less like a tranny once I put on a makeup. The bluntness of his words catches me off guard. Nat can be direct, brutally so, but rarely to himself. His words are playful, impassive, but he runs a paw through his fur subconsciously, shrugging his shoulders inwardly. Are you kidding me? You look amazing. You're the perfect Misa, Nat. He looks up at me and smiles. Likewise. But just let me do my makeup out here real quick, and then I'll give you your raccoon eyes. We find a corner to rest on, sitting on the carpeted floor, our backs rested against the wall. Nat brought a compact mirror with him, and he has leaned it towards it attentively, summoning a deep focus as he applies makeup. How did you get all this stuff past your parents, anyways? Nat turns from his work momentarily, giving me a smile. I have my ways. I'm just grateful that Elle wears like normal clothes. Nat laughs. Well, I'm grateful that Misa wears this. It is a nice excuse and she has the best sense in fashion. Thank fucking God everyone wants to cosplay her. I couldn't imagine finding a costume for someone like, I don't know, Yuki or something like that. Excuse for what? I pause, almost asking again, but drop it. Nat leans back, admiring his reflection in the compact before closing it with a satisfied click. He turns to me. How do I look? My face warms and I struggle to find the words. You look perfect. The perfect Misa. You look good. I give him a thumbs up and he laughs. Thanks. Now your turn. He adjusts his posture as he's facing me and picks up some black eyeliner. I promise not to stab your eye out. I try my hardest not to let my eye twitch as he applies the eyeliner. His movements are careful and I relax a little. It feels like we're trading places for the weekend. Like I'm the boy and you're the girl. He's quiet for a moment, thoughtful as he applies my eyeliner. I like that. Trading places for the weekend. The convention is what I imagined it to be. Noise, people, booths, and booths of anime merch surrounded by people in cosplay and nerdy graphic tees. But what I could not expect was a feeling of actually being in it. I feel like I could let my shoulders relax, and I could truly be myself in this place. More importantly, I felt like I could be myself around Nat. Every once in a while, he'd grab me by the paw without thought and lead me to a booth, and I could feel my face warm. This is so cute, isn't it? He gestures with a paw to a plushie on display. I only recognize the character because I've seen her on Nat's blog a few times before. But I'm barely noticing the plushie, instead watching the way that he gestures with his arm, the way that he holds his paw, the genuine smile on his muzzle, and the way that smile reaches up to his eyes. The way that, whenever we stop at a booth and he points out something, he leans in close to me, as if conspiratorial to me, and lowers his voice just for me to hear. A gentle falsetto. I look from the plushie to him and smile. It's really cute. Before heading back to the room, we make sure to change back and scrub our faces clean of makeup. Nat's Misa cosplay retires back to its bag, and we make the long walk back to the hotel room. When we get back to the room, Nat's dad says a short hello, a brief questioning of how the day went. I notice a change in the way that Nat carries himself, the way his voice drops from its comfortable falsetto. I feel a pang of guilt that I get to carry on trading places all the way back to our room, but that Nat has to abandon it back at the convention to put it back on again tomorrow. Nat's dad retires back to his room, and we're left alone, delightfully exhausted from the day. We sit at either bed, facing each other, babbling about the day. There is something different about Nat and the way that he carries himself, even though we're alone again. Like his dad's presence seeps through the walls and door, separating our rooms. My mind reels for ways to say words that I don't think that I know how to say. You know, if you want to keep crossplaying here, I don't mind. He screws up his brows, glancing over at me. What do you mean? I don't know. I just feel bad that I get to be a guy still. But when we get back to the room... Oh, it's no big deal. He waves it off with a paw. I don't know. It's just that when we were at the convention, you were so... I don't know how else to describe it. You were you. I know that's totally cliche to say, but... No, I know what you're saying. It's just that the whole crossplaying thing is easier to just keep at the convention halls. If my dad opens that door and I even let a little bit of that part out of me, I have to take it back home. It changes everything, and I don't want to change everything. I like having my own secret cosplay thing at the con, and the Tumblr, and even the IMVU thing. He fidgets with his phone, suddenly very fixated on its screen. Thank you, though. Of course, don't worry about it. The rest of the convention flies, despite my attempts to take in every moment that I possibly can. People ask for our photos, and while I'm nervous at first, it eventually becomes second nature. A part of that might be that the typical posture for Elle is hunched and awkward, so there's not much posing that I have to do. Meanwhile, every photo that we do, Nat leans in to my side, gravitating naturally towards me, a paw on my hip, and the other paw held in varying delicate poses. After one photo, I stop the couple who ask for a photo before they go. Actually, do you mind getting a photo of us too? Oh, of course. They take my phone and snap a photo or two and then hand it back. When I get my phone back, Nat and I huddle over my phone screen. Oh, wow. I can't help but agree. We have seen our reflections through the mirrors and windows, but there was something different about a photo. It made us feel real. I didn't expect to look so good. I laugh. What do you mean? You always look good. You said it yourself. Well, yeah, but this is like... He gestures to the phone screen, unable to articulate it, but I understand. Yeah, I get what you mean. We look up from the photo at each other, smiling, and I can tell that he knows that I mean it. We get back to the hotel room on our final night, well and truly exhausted. We take turns showering, and when I come out of the bathroom, I find Nat laying on his back, idly scrolling on his phone. I can just barely hear the monotone drone of his dad's TV from the other hotel room. I flop on my bed, lying on my back too. I can't wait until I graduate and have a job so that I can buy everything at the booths. Oh, same. I can't wait to graduate for like a million reasons. Yeah, like moving out. I don't know what college I want to go to yet, but I just know that I want to be out of state. Nat looks up from his phone at me. You're already thinking about that? Well, yeah, at least a little bit. Oh, that's right. You're old. I can hear the smile on his voice. Only by a year. Ancient. The room gets quiet again in the wake of our laughter. The noise from the TV in the other room abruptly stops, and the light under the door dividing our rooms goes dark. Well, that's our cue. Nat rolls over and turns out the lamp by the bed. I do the same, and our room shrouds in darkness. I wish that we could do this every weekend. Nat hums in agreement. I wish that we could do it every day. I think that I'd be exhausted if we went to every con every day. No, I mean, His voice wilts and he goes quiet. I roll over to my side and face him. In the darkness, his face smudges, a softened impression of his face. What? He doesn't move to face me, staring up at the ceiling intently, as if deciphering something from it. There is a long pause and he swallows, considering his words, his eyes darting around as if looking for the answer somewhere on the ceiling, on the wall, on the window. I wait, patiently, though every second feels like hours. A part of me knows what he's going to say before he says it, because it's words that I've wanted to say too. I could finish the thought, but I wait. It's so stupid, but I wish that I could just be like this every day. Like crossplay? Sort of. But more than that? Nat only nods. I want to say something, 100 different things, but I have trouble fitting all the words into the right order. I'm afraid of crossing a threshold, of saying something that can't be put back. I wish that we could do that too. Nat turns his head to look at me, and I meet his gaze. I think that sometimes, I don't know, it feels good to be Chris for the weekend. If it were just you and me, and no one else, I would be Chris all the time. But not like identity stealing. I'd still be me, but you wish that you were born a guy. I stop, surprised at his directness. I nod. Yeah, pretty much. I had a feeling. Is it that obvious? Only to me, I promise. And you? Nat laughs. Do you even have to ask? We stare at each other, and I don't know quite what to call us then. For the first time, the mind acknowledges it, consciously. Nat is a girl, and I am a boy. Declaring it so clearly, even just in my mind, still feels terrifying. There is an invisible audience still present in my mind, scoffing and laughing at the ridiculousness of our circumstances. But looking across at Nat, that invisible audience disappears, and there is only her. There is only us in the world in the hotel room. There is a pause as I let the words build in my throat, afraid to let them out. Afraid of everything between us to change, and to lose the only connection like this that I have, of ruining it forever. If we're confessing all our secrets, we might as well get them all out. Nat's eyes glitter in the dark. Do you have a body that you need help getting rid of? I laugh nervously, and at my nervousness, her eyes soften. It's stupid, but you're the most important person to me in the world. I know that we met online, but I've never felt connected with anyone like I have with you. I would never dress up as a guy with anyone but you. You make me feel more me, and I like you a lot. A silence hangs heavy in the air, and my heart pounds, crawling up my throat. I'm grateful that it's dark, that she can't see how nervous I am. I like you a lot too, Em. You're probably my only real friend in the whole world. At the word friend, I feel a stab in my chest, afraid that I'm being misunderstood, that I'm letting the chance slip away. Well, not just friends, but like... I stop rambling. She reaches her paw out across the bed towards me. I like you a lot too. As I properly meet her gaze again, I see that she's smiling. I reach my arm across to her, too, and our paws gently clasp, dangling now between the chasm between our two beds. Like, romantically? She laughs and I blush. Yes, romantically. Like, you might even say. I like you too a lot. We stare at each other, paw in paw, swinging our arms gently. Nat pulls her paw away and scooches off her bed and lays down next to me on mine. I wriggle to properly face her, and we naturally slot into place, her arms around me and mine around her. Our muzzles are close, not quite touching. I'm glad that we did this whole crazy weekend thing. Me too. I don't want to go back. I lean forward and despite not never having kissed before, I kiss her. It is a small, delicate peck and I pull back quickly, afraid of trespassing boundaries too quickly. She looks surprised for a moment, but then leans back in, pulling me closer and I reciprocate. I don't know if I'm doing it right, or if there is any right way. There is awkwardness, some giggling as we figure ourselves out, but slowly we find our way to ourselves in the dark of the hotel room. I wait for my mom to pick me up from school, leaning under the shade of the school library. I fidget with my phone idly and I see a text notification. I ignore it, knowing that it's Nat. I see Isabel and Rebecca from the corner of my eye, and then stare at the home screen of my phone even more intently, tapping its monitor thoughtlessly with my paws. Another text message comes in, and I finally concede. Off school soon? Everything okay? I sigh, searching my mind for the right arrangement of words. Yeah, just had a meeting with my teacher. Are you sure? Yeah? Okay, sorry, you just seem off lately. I know that she's not wrong, but a small part of me resents her for noticing. Isabel and Rebecca walk by, only a few feet away, happily talking to each other. The most acknowledgement that I get is the briefest of eye contact before they both lean into each other. They say something that I can't make out before exploding into giggles, and I want to fold into myself a million times over until I disappear. I look up as my mom's car pulls up suddenly and abruptly, and I search my mind for an urgent meeting or appointments that might be today. I search my mind for anything that I could have forgotten about today. It could be anything, ranging from actually urgent to incredibly mundane. I slide into the passenger seat of the car and my ears flatten as I notice my mom's stature. She smiles tightly as I buckle my seatbelt, and both paws are gripping the steering wheel. She is upset, and I search my mind for what about. She pulls out of the school parking lot and the car is quiet. How was school? Good. The silence continues. Where was it that you and Isabel stayed last month again? I stumble over my thoughts as I try to recall the lie that I had fed her. Oh, it was this weekend thing. I forgot the name. Her paws tighten on the steering wheel. Well, I was just talking to Isabel's mom, and she said that Isabel didn't go anywhere last month. My heart pounds in my chest. I don't know what to say. Emily, where were you? I don't know what to say. I don't know what the safest answer is. I feel my voice grow small, folding into myself. I don't know. The car swerves joltedly as she pulls into the nearest empty spot on the side of the road and yanks the car into park. She turns to me, her eyes wild with anger, and I shrink back. Where were you? I feel tears well up in the corner of my eyes. Who were you with? Was there drinking? Drugs? No, nothing like that. I don't. Then why did you tell me that you were with Isabel? I can't think of a good excuse. My mind reels. Was it a boyfriend? How old is he? No, I don't. Her paw grips my shoulder. Emily, this is serious. I need you to tell me the truth. I need to know where my underage daughter was for a whole weekend. A spark of fury ignites at me, frustrated with her sudden concern. A part of me is angry at how easy it is to lie to her, to stay away for a weekend. I could have been anywhere, and she only pretends to care now that she's confronted with it. A part of me wants to turn and yell at her, to tell her that she was the one who didn't care enough to make sure that I was somewhere safe, that she failed me, that I didn't fail her. But I keep my mouth shut tight and flatten my ears, looking away at anything but her face. Of course, I was somewhere safe. I made sure of that without her help. It wasn't a boy. She goes to a different school, but I met her online. I find the proper half-truths to say, the ones that will reduce my mother's anger the most, that will make this whole thing disappear as quickly as possible. Nat is someone that I met online, but I met her through Facebook. More precisely, I met her through a friend of a friend on Facebook. She goes to a school only a district or so away from us, rather than many states away. I had a sleepover at her house. I stayed with her dad and mom, and add a few sisters into the family to assure my mom's fears of being alone in a house with men. That is now Nicole. I don't mention that she was born a boy. I don't mention the convention or the cross-dressing. And most importantly, I tell her that I hid this from her because I was afraid that she would be upset if I asked to stay at Nicole's for the weekend. Because this is the most rebellious thing that I ever considered to do, or at least I needed to be in her eyes. Her Emily would never do what I did. My mom tells me that she wants the phone number for the parents to speak with them and confirm this. I agree without hesitation, knowing that even though I am scheming possible ways to fake this phone call in a believable way, that the phone call will never happen. It won't take long for my mom to get swept up in work again, and for this to become another grudge between us, something for her to use like a knife in arguments between us in the future. When I appear online, Nat is there to greet me. "Hi there, how was your day?" Her chipper tune grates at me, and I know that it's unfair. My whole world felt like it nearly fell apart only moments ago, and she is completely ignorant of it. Not good. My mom found out. Oh shit, how much does she know? Does she know about me? About us? I didn't tell her anything about you or us. She thinks that I met up with someone from a different school. Oh, thank God, lol. I was worried there for a second. I flex my claws in frustration. Well, I'm still worried. Even if she doesn't find out about us specifically, she's still pissed at me. Oh yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. It more than sucks, but yeah, lol. Are you okay? Are you mad at me or something? Why would I be mad at you? I'm mad at my mom. Because you're acting weirdly passive-aggressive. Which is what you usually do when you're pissed. I'm not being passive-aggressive. Okay. Let's just talk about something else then. I love you, but I hate it when you get like this. And it feels like you've been in a weird mood ever since we got back from the con. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. I thought you wanted to talk about something else. Well, I guess I changed my mind. So, are you mad at me? I pause, exhaling before answering. I don't know. There is a long pause before she answers back. Okay. Can I know why? I told you I don't know. Well, I don't know isn't exactly a no. I tap out a bunch of different responses, backspacing each one and retyping before typing again. It's just that everything feels different since I got back. It's just that my friends act weird around me since I got back. I just feel like our trip made everything change. I just feel like everything got worse after I got back from our trip. There was another pause. I hold my breath. Worse in what way? I don't know. Every way. I feel like everything offline got worse. Okay, well, there's only a few more years of high school left, right? Then we can go to college, and if we don't go to the same college, we could just live together after that. But even just being at college feels better. I don't know. I feel like it's not just that. What if my mom finds out about us? I worry about that too, you know? What happens if my parents find out that I'm dating some stranger on the internet? They'll think that you're a catfish. It can't be that much worse than having your mom like, why are you dating some tranny that you made online? There was a long pause and my stomach sinks as I realize the weight of my words. Is that what you think of me? No, I mean that's what my mom would think. Oh, fuck off. You're a tranny too, you know. I was just saying what I think my mom would think. Well, clearly you seem to think that too, or you wouldn't have said it. That's not fair and you know it. What else am I supposed to think? You're obviously mad at me, And you've been weird since we got back home. Well, maybe it sucks coming home and having everyone treat me weird. Sorry for passing my germs on to you. I thought that you were different. I thought that you got it. I can't be with someone who can't even accept what he is. I'm sorry. I can't fucking do this. Enjoy having your normal fucking life back. I'm frantically trying to piece together an apology to backpedal what I've said, but when I try to send it, an error message appears on my screen. My heart is in my throat, and my fingers tremble as I attempt again. I try calling again and again, but to no avail. I tab through every social media that we follow each other on, and everything is blocked. All the connections are all severed, loose. I'm alone in the dark with the glow of my laptop screen again. It is unusually overcast today, but I prefer it that way. I sit in the safety of my car, feeling foolish with how nervous I am. It's like I'm back in high school all over again. I scan the cars around me, looking for the familiar flash of fur, wondering if she's sitting in her car like I am. I take a deep breath and finally step out of the car. The walk to the coffee shop doors feels like eternity, and I'm conscious of every movement. How I take each step, how my arms swing at my sides, how I open the door. The gentle thrum of music greets me. It's fairly mellow at this time, most of the small tables occupied by different people, with sleek laptops and notes, working steadily and adding the patter of keys to the air. I look around, feeling that same feeling that I felt years ago in the hotel lobby, searching for a familiar face that I wasn't sure that I'd recognize. But then I see her, and I know instantly it's her. She's seated at a corner table away from the other people, her paw in her phone. She looks different now, softer. In the same way hormones created subtle changes in my build, her build has changed too. Her shoulders are smaller and her waist and hips have a gentle curve that wasn't there years ago. But beyond her physical changes, there is something even more important that I can't help but admire: the way that she holds herself. She was an awkwardly, gangly teenager, always somewhat folded into herself, greatly contrasting the confident way that she spoke. But now she takes up space, not inconsiderably, but as if to say that I am here too. She looks up and meets my eyes, and there's that smile that I did not expect to see ever again, especially directed at me. She gets out of her chair, and there is another difference that I notice immediately. She's taller. She wears heels with confidence, unafraid of the extra inches it gives her height, a trait that she bemoaned to me in the past. I walk forward to greet her, and we both hug. It is the briefest of hugs, but it's more than I had expected. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you again. You too. She looks me up and down, appraising me. You look good. Not dyeing the fur anymore? I ruffle my paws in my head fur. Oh yeah, it just got troublesome and you know, who really cares if someone can tell? She laughs and I smile. Oh yeah, you've changed a lot. I feel my face warm at the first gentle acknowledgement of our last conversation. But hey, let's order first, my treat. We take our drinks outside after picking them up, deciding on a walk to the beach. It's part of the reason that I picked here. It's only a 10-minute walk. You're so lucky that you have that, you know. Oh, I know, and I never take advantage of it. Well, I'll help you out with that today. We started walking over. It's quiet today, the clouds on the weekday giving people ample excuse to stay home and away. So, Oliver, it suits you. Thanks. Natalie also suits you, as cute of a nickname as Nat was. It was pretty cute, huh? I laugh nervously and she does too. So, what do you do? Retail, sadly. She groans in sympathy. Oh man, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, you get to live with all this. She gestures grandly with the one paw at a manicured beachside suburbs. Oh no, even as a manager, I can't afford over here. I can barely make it with the roommate that I have. Being close must be nice, though. It is. What about you? The other, more lucrative evil. Advertising. I raise a brow. Really? Yeah, well, I wanted to do something in art, but that wasn't going to pay me anything. And I get to travel more. They gave me an excuse to come back here to see you again. We arrive at the beach and I watch Natalie as she takes in the view. It really is something, huh? It is. She tosses her empty coffee cup into a nearby trash bin, then kicks off her heels without warning and picks them up in one paw. She begins to wander down the sand, but stops and turns back to me. Coming? I mumble something affirmative as I toss my cup into the bin and follow her, keeping my shoes on. We're quiet on the trek to the shoreline, our pace slowed by the sand. I move deliberately, trying my best not to look clumsy in front of her. She stops just before the water darkens, wet from the ocean, and I stop beside her. We both face the ocean for a moment, taking it in. I look back over to her. The breeze pulls at her fur gently, and her black nose wiggles as she takes in the smell of salty air. I'm out with lanterns, looking for myself. Huh? The Dickinson quote that you reblogged, way back when. Oh yeah, I thought that I recognized it. You know, it's not even from a poem, it's from one of her letters. I don't even think that she meant anything deep by it. She was just complaining about moving to her friend. I'm surprised that you didn't say anything about it until now. Well, I thought about it, but I didn't want to make you feel bad. I didn't want to make it seem like I thought that you were trying to impress me. Well, I was. I know that now. And then, after we fought, I thought that it was some secret sign that I hadn't read enough into. That it was one of the many ways of lying to get to me. That if you weren't honest about being into Dickinson, you weren't honest about being trans, and your interest in me and... yeah. And if I hadn't noticed something earlier, if I had kept you out of my life sooner, I wouldn't have gotten so hurt. It's so fucking stupid. I know. I nod, not sure what to say. The shore reaches us closer to us, grazing the edge of my shoes and Nat's paws. She hardly seems to notice, eyes intent on the waves. You know, I didn't expect you to come. Really? Yeah, I was pretty sure that you still hated me. Are you kidding? I thought that you hated me. I was half expecting your message to be a lot worse. No, not at all. I still feel pretty bad about how I handled things. Me too. You know, I never got to say it then, and I didn't say it in my email back, but I'm really sorry. Natalie's eyes meet mine. I was scared, I think. Scared of how just meeting you changed everything for me. It's not even like I consciously started to dress like a boy in school. I was just different, and somehow everyone could sense it. Must have been my germs. Transgenderism is contagious if you haven't been keeping up with the news. I laugh softly. But really, I mean it. You changed everything for me, and I don't know where I'd be right now if I hadn't met you. She smiles and turns her gaze back to the ocean. I'm sorry too. I guess in a way, I was scared too. Or angry, really angry. Angry at you for being afraid, and angry at myself for letting someone in on my biggest, darkest secret. Which didn't even stay a secret for much longer anyways. And since then, I've been mad at high school, me, for being so stubborn and proud, for not reaching back out. And by the time that I was done being angry and proud, I was scared that I had ruined everything, that I couldn't reach back out ever again, that I lost something back then. I watch her face as she talks, the way her eyes dart over the horizon. I hesitate, but I feel the same feelings that I felt years ago in her hotel room, and I reach out and take her free paw in mine. Her face turns to mine, surprised for a moment before it softens. I'm glad that you reached out. I feel her paw tighten around mine, and we both turn our gazes back to the ocean. I hold onto her paw, not knowing if I'll ever hold it again. I don't know if the next time that we talk will be in days, weeks, months, or even years. I don't even know if this is the last time that we'll ever speak to each other again. I do know that when we're back at each other's sides, when she's miles away at home, that something has changed. Oh, there we go. That's not really where I thought it was gonna go. But, yeah. I was a little sketched out that I was reading Minor's Meeting. Because I was like, oh my god, is it gonna turn into like, oh no, one of them is an adult. And then I was like, oh, they're minors. Oh no, they're minors. What are they doing? But, yeah. But I guess it was nice. Two people meeting and then I guess realizing something about each other or helping each other realize something about each other. And then later in life, reconnecting again. And like I said, if you're in the furry fandom, stuff like this happens a lot. Maybe not finding out that your gender identity is different from what you were born with, but finding people that help you find something new about yourself, helping you open up or realize something new about yourself, I guess. So yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But, what are your thoughts? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Close and Distant, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which would have a direct link to the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself, or any of the other May Wolf 2025 entries. There are some other ones that I am interested in reading. There is another one that I already downloaded, which I will be reading next, which is considerably more dark than this one. So yeah, there is another one, which I am still on the fence about reading because I know that it's going to be rewritten to be like an actual full-length visual novel. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to read it now or I'm going to wait. So we'll see. But yeah, so links down in the description. And if you would like to support this channel, then you can become a channel member and watch these videos earlier as they're being scheduled. So it does help support me and whatnot. And if you would like to, you can support through Ko-fi too. You know, in case you can't become a channel member or you're just feeling generous, but you don't want to become a channel member. You're just like, hey, I like your videos. Here's some money. But there's also Throne in case you're feeling extra generous. You know, you can get me something random. It doesn't have to be anything that I have on the list. You can literally give me anything. But yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.